But first, when it comes to makeup, we'll start here. We are influenced by a lot of things in the world of style and beauty. So you see commercials, right? You see celebrities or influencers who you want to emulate or mimic. But recently, Studio 5 beauty and style contributor Megan Moore proved that you can find inspiration in unexpected places, even in a can of Diet Coke. Last week, Megan let her Instagram followers suggest different makeup looks inspired by really random things. And look how that turned out. Look at the red lips, the silver eyes, a little sip sip, that makeup look replicating her favorite can of soda. Well, Megan is letting us join in on the fun today. Do we call this anything? What is this called?
I call it Inspired By.
Inspired By. And how did you come up with this idea?
Well, really, it was because I get the comment all the time, I do not know what colors go together. It just overwhelms me and I don't know how to do it. And I would always say, just experiment. But then I started thinking, some people's brains just don't work that way.
Thank you for recognizing the rest of our handicap.
Right? So then you look around you and you think every object around us has been designed by an artist or a graphic designer.
Sure.
So instead of trying to figure it out yourself, just copy the other people, the experts. They know what they're doing, just copy them.
Rip them off. I remember about 10 years ago on this show, a fashion expert said, look at school colors, like high school colors, as a way to come up with unique color combinations. It's the same idea, pulling inspiration from what's around you. What other objects have you mimicked in your face?
So far, I've done my favorite pair of running sneakers, and that one was, that's what kind of started the whole thing.
What color were they?
Okay, so my favorite color is this lilac purple, and I found these sneakers that had that on the back, but then there's that neon orange and a rose gold. All together. I wouldn't have done it otherwise, but when I saw it on a shoe, I was like, actually, those three colors are perfect, right?
Look at that. What else? What else?
And then the latest one, I did a Utah Jazz jersey. This was suggested by people, and I went with the city jersey, so it's like the warm tones.
The bolder.
Yeah, a little bit bolder, but so fun. I mean, it was totally out there and crazy, but come on, it was too fun. And I took this all around town in public, and I got some great looks when I did this one.
This is, look at you. It's so pretty though. It is dramatic and maybe a little much for the everyday average woman, but it proves the point that you can take inspiration from even something like a basketball jersey and have some makeup fun with it. Was that who signed that ball?
That was Carl Malone.
Carl, shout out to Carl. I waited in line for him at the Brigham City Library in 3rd grade to sign a postcard.
Yeah, we've had that ball a long time.
Back in the day, yeah. Anyway, we digress. You're bravely agreeing to do it on the show today.
Yeah, why not?
Okay, so this morning on social media, we threw out the question, what random object do you want to see Megan take on in her makeup? And our Studio 5 social media producer, Daylin, is standing by with the results. What did people say, Daylin?
We had a lot of really fun responses. Honestly, a lot of people are feeling spring. So we had a lot of like Easter candy, St. Patrick's Day, Cadbury eggs, hello. I love to eat those. And then we had some other fun ones, Frozen, or, you know, I had to put this one in there, BYU, Royal Edition.
Megan, that would about break her. I think if she knew that was going to be on the table, I don't know if that would have been up for the count. So what do you think? Spring, St. Patrick's Day, BYU, Frozen, the movie Frozen, Cadbury eggs?
I think we should do Cadbury eggs.
Yeah?
I mean, everybody loves them, and I feel like most people have pastels in their palettes that they could pull out for the Cadbury eggs. So I'm going to ponder on it and figure out what we're going to do.
All right, you get started. You get going. Pastels. It's very springy. We will see what Cadbury eggs look like in the form of makeup. And of course, we'll check in with Megan all throughout the hour. Thanks. It's a makeup challenge she calls Inspired By. She did the Diet Coke can, a Utah Jazz look, and so many more. Studio 5 style and beauty contributor Megan Moore is up for any makeup challenge. We took viewer submissions today. We heard Frozen, the movie. We heard St. Patrick's Day, but ultimately we landed on Cadbury eggs. How's it going, Megan?
It's going good. I feel like I have the colors kind of laid down on my eyes that I like, and now I'm just kind of going through and figuring out what is the perfect Cadbury egg pink for my lips.
At one point you confessed you felt like a peep.
I feel a little like a peep, but I'm going to embrace it.
It's spring. We need the pastels, so we're following along, tracking this real life makeup challenge in hopes of inspiring all of us to be a little more brave and bold with our colors. So we'll check back in with Megan for the finished look in just a little bit. Looking good. Oh, she's done it in today's Style Files. Studio 5 style and beauty contributor Megan Moore has proven herself once again as the makeup genius that she is. So you call this little game or challenge Inspired By. Our viewers sent in objects that you would mimic your look or your face after, and we landed on
Cadbury eggs.
Cadbury eggs, very appropriate through the spring season. So we're looking at the colors of pink, blue, yellow, but you say white is where you drew the line.
Yeah, I didn't add any white. I'm kind of anti-white makeup just
Why?
because, well, it's pretty dated. It really brings us back to like the 90s, like that white, very like icy, and it's just not super flattering once you have any kind of texture in your skin, AKA wrinkles. As soon as you get to that point, it's no longer a really flattering color. So I ditched the white, but I went with all the other ones.
But look what you did, the pretty pastels, it's so soft. Okay, talk us through it.
So I went with the palette that I ended up using, I'll pull it up by me, is the Festival palette by Profusion, which you can grab at Walmart, so super affordable, but it had all of those colors in there. And then I went and put all three of them on my lid, a little pink on the inner, blue through the middle, and then kind of gold through the outer and through that crease.
And listen, most of us stick with our basic whitewash and then maybe 2 colors. What's the key to doing like bolder colors, trifecta like that?
I mean, I think I don't ever do anything divided perfectly in thirds if I'm going to use 3 colors. So I usually will go a little smaller, a little wider, and a little bigger, so it transitions and kind of grows versus a perfect separation of 3 colors.
So you're blending and you're just moving it along.
Blending, and then pick one that's kind of the focus. So for me, I feel like the blue is kind of the focus color here, and then the yellow and the pink are a little softer.
And then what did you do under the eye?
And then I did pink underneath the eye as well.
Now, why don't your eyes look red? When I do pink eyeshadow, I feel like I look like I haven't slept all night, which maybe the problem is sometimes I haven't. Thank you, children. But what's the key to pulling that off?
It's probably too pigmented. So this is a very subtle pink, so it's there, but it's not too much. So if you're going too red or too pink, it can definitely read that way. I also did metallic, which makes it a little bit more reflective on the eyes, and so it doesn't feel heavy. And then I just did a really light kind of pinky blush and matching lip. I really had to kind of dig for the right color that felt like the peep pink. Yeah. And I kind of ended up with a purpley pink.
And we talked about earlier in the show, a big roadblock for a lot of women is not knowing first what colors to use, but what colors to blend.
Yep.
And that's where you say this challenge can help because the manufacturers, the graphic design artists of Cadbury Easter Egg had done that for you.
Right, they're geniuses. And it's all around. You'll start to pay attention. Oh, I love that pillow. Oh, I'm drawn to that pattern. And then you can say, you know what, I have colors that I can do with that. And maybe if you need to adjust it a tiny bit, so maybe something's orange and you say, I don't want orange, but I could do copper, right? Sure. You can adjust it a little bit, but there's so much inspiration around
You're
us.
so good at this. You're so good at inspiring women to reach outside of their comfort zone. And yeah, it's just for fun, but that's what makeup is, right?
Yeah, it should be. It should be joyful.
Where can we follow along and see more of your Inspired by challenges?
Find me on Instagram @BeautySnoop and send me a comment and tell me what I should do next. I'm always looking for more ideas.
Listen, it's kind of like makeup roulette. I love it. I love it. You never know. She takes it on, and we are more inspired, and we feel permission.